not that I have a decent wage. I'm happy with my wage. You know my wage, and you seem to think you earn more than me, but yeah,
Depending
um,
on what I do and how much I work, can be more or
yeah.
less.
But don't forget, I'm in a management position, so you're doing well to earn. I'm really not blowing my own trumpet here, although I wish I was, but
I
not in
mean,
that way.
it is odd. Like most management positions at CN, as far as I know, pay roughly the same, if not less than the amount of conductors and engineers, which is
To
odd.
be honest with you, I prefer that because there shouldn't be this pay gap because of your position. You know,
True.
everyone should be treated the same. Well, I mean, there should be a tiny bit of a pay gap because as a manager, you have more responsibilities, so you should get paid a bit more, but not
Yeah.
like 50 grand more or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's like the other interesting thing. The maintenance of way people and those who do signal maintenance, all that jazz. The guys that are actually out there doing the hard work, they get paid. I don't know their exact amount, but it's definitely like a lot less than those of us who just sit in a warm cab and push buttons.
So it's unfair, isn't it? Because they're the people actually, putting their blood, sweat, and tears into actually, so you can sit in the warm cab,
Oh,
with your
absolutely.
train, and they're the people who actually make it all happen, and then they get paid less.
Yeah. That's like we could literally it's the same sort of deal with Disney there. You got the people who are in the costumes, the people who work on the rides, the people who are actually sort of doing like the outside, the visible work, and they're getting paid less than those who work behind the scenes, comfortable and
Yeah, but
unseen.
in a way, we're the people who actually do make things happen. Without us, you wouldn't have the people in the costumes, or you wouldn't have the shows which you see the actors in. We're the ones behind the scenes who make that work. But I know where you're coming from.
Yeah,
But
maybe
it's
it's
like,
a shitty comparison.
no, but it's still it's a comparison to make. But it's obviously without my department, you wouldn't have the shows we have, and
Right.
if something
Everyone
goes wrong,
everyone does their job to make everything go as smooth as possible, but
it works
there's
like cogwork.
significant differences between who gets paid what for what job.
Exactly. The way I see it is that, as much as I say just then, without like people like myself in our department at work, you wouldn't have the actors. The actors wouldn't do anything because they wouldn't have a show. But still, at the end of the day, you still wouldn't have a show if you didn't have the actors. So
Right.
it goes hand in hand. I'm not, trying to be. I'm not trying to say that we're like the gods of the place. Without us, nothing would happen because the same would happen if it wasn't for other people as well as
Right.
us. It goes hand in hand and vice versa. But there is that pay gap, as you said, which is
Yeah.
unfortunate. But you could say it's because when it comes to acting and the face characters and people who are the frontline staff with the actual guests at the park, ride operators, you could say that they get paid less because it's not that specialist. I mean, anyone can. I'm probably going to upset some people here, but anyone can act. Anyone can press a button on the ride to make a train leave a station and go around on the roller coaster. But when it comes to our stuff, it's very very specialist. I mean, not a lot of people will know how to operate a light and desk and do show control systems and stuff like that. It's a really niche market type of thing. It's not something you can just walk into. You need a degree in it. You need training on it, and you know what I mean.
Yeah. That's fair. I would agree. Like running rides and stuff. That's fairly easy. Just need to know what button to push to make a thing happen, and what button to push when it all goes terribly wrong.
Yeah,
Um, Acting, on the other hand, I wouldn't quite say that just about anyone can do it. I know there are some like people who just can't act their way out of a paper bag, really.
well,
I've
that's
I've been
me.
I've
That is literally me.
been yeah. I have been like in theater for 5 years. I know it was just high school, so like nowhere near professional shit, but like even that you can make a solid comparison between the person that can act and the person that probably should stick to math.
Math of all things does. I mean, yeah, I think saying acting is a bit unfair, but you know what I mean, though.
Yeah,
There's
I,
some
I get I
things
get what you're
which a lot of
saying. Like
people can
it's
do.
probably not like it doesn't take nearly as much skill and effort as it does to literally light up a show, do
Yeah,
the
that's
whole
yeah,
technical stuff behind it.
because it's a lot more technical than people think. I mean,
I mean, it's a
I have a lot of responsibility
multi-million
as
dollar
well.
show. It's got to be technical.
Well, here's some figures for you, which I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say or not, but I'm going to anyway. Um, one of our shows, in fact, here's how we'll do it. I won't say what show it is, so you, for all you know, this could be anything, so I won't get in trouble. One
It
of our
was the show
shows,
from yesterday.
one of our major shows, is 23 minutes long. Um, but every time we do that show, it costs us $75,000, which is basically my entire year's wage for 23 minutes of show. So sometimes we show this show 3 times a night as well. So, you know, we're spending 175, sorry, 100, 100, no, what, 75 times 3. What is that? 75 times 3.
Yeah.
$225,000 we're spending per night on one show.
So
Disney has money to fucking waste, but
quarter of a million almost per
yeah,
or in a night.
and that's just one show. And don't forget, we have loads of shows which go on during the day as well.
Right.
So it's a lot of money which goes through our department, and I have quite a bit of responsibility for that, unfortunately. So,
Yeah, 'cause you're what top manager in for your department, are you? Something like that.
but I'm not top. Um, my job title um, is head of lighting and show control systems for Disney Parks Live Entertainment. So Disney Parks Live Entertainment is the company. It's not the company. It's the subsidiary of Disney behind all the live entertainment shows, firework shows, nighttime spectacular shows, parades across all the Disney parks across the world. And my job title in that is head of lighting and show control. So I am in charge of all the lighting and show control systems for all the shows in all the Disney parks around the world. There's people higher up than me who are technical directors for Disney, basically for everything Disney, not just parks and resorts. So there are people higher up than me, but they don't really get that involved. It's more office work for them. Whereas
Right.
I'm very practical. I'm actually, doing the lighting programming and doing the show control programming and
You're
all
basically
the
the boss on the ground,
yeah, yeah. That's one way of putting it.
and then the next guy up is the boss in the office.
Yeah, it's basically it. Yeah.
Yeah. He's
So
the
if
one
something
that you
goes
don't
wrong,
want to see leave his office because that usually means you're in trouble.
yeah, it's literally that. You've hit the nail on the head there. Um, so yeah, whenever something goes wrong with one of our shows and the local crew on that show can't troubleshoot it, or if it's a really serious problem, then that's when I would get involved. But also, as part of it's an interesting one because so I'm based at Walt Disney World, and as you know, I was based at Disneyland in California up until a couple of months ago. Um, our department, whenever a new show is being done at a Disney park across the world, our department will go over to that park about a month beforehand, um, and do the installation, do the programming of all the show elements, the lighting, fireworks, projections, audio. We'll do all the programming and the installation, and see the show start. Debut the show, and then hand over all the systems we've done to the local crew at that park, and then they'll carry on running it. But then when there isn't a new show happening, I'm based at Walt Disney World, so I then just help with the day-to-day operation of some of our shows here. Just like, next week when I've done the secret thing I'm working on, doing all these hours at the moment, I'll be going back in and operating Fantasmic and then operating Happy Ever After. The fireworks show, I'll just be operating it as a normal show control lighting operation technician. You know, so as much as I'm a manager of the department, I still do the job everyone else does in the department as well. I'm not like just a pure manager.
Right.
Does that make sense? It's difficult to explain.
Yeah, it's I think like I can get the gist of it.
Yeah. So basically, I do normal day-to-day stuff at the park at Walt Disney World when I'm not managing new shows at a different park.
Right.
That's basically it.
Yeah. Anyone who's taken a magic class knows exactly what you're talking about. Everyone else is like, yeah, I think I get it.
There's not magic though. There's no magic in Disney. Oh, I shouldn't say that.
Spoilers! Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's all fabricated. You know, there's so many secrets I can tell you, but I can't, which ruins
Magician's
it
not
all.
supposed to reveal his tricks.
I like that. I should change my job title to just chief magician or something.
That'd be great.